Welcome to the October 28th, 2020 Talk Supervisors Professional Learning Session for PE.
Just one thing, this is our elementary team, so we'll just, if we can stay focused on elementary, that would be great. And additionally, some folks have never ever utilized this program, including myself, for entering data and that sort of thing. So anything that you could do to kind of just, spell things out explicitly would be incredibly helpful.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And as you said that, it triggered the back of my brain, our email string the other day, whatever day that was. I'm losing track of even what state I'm standing in. So no worries. So let me ask one more clarifying question without digging on my side. Are we logging in teachers and students, Linda, from our website? Instead of a single sign-on from somewhere.
Right. We are in the process of getting that single sign-on worked out. I know that you guys had contacted Bill Good and the folks responsible for that, but for right now, we are going through your website, not through a single sign-on.
Okay, I am going to confirm that on my side here just real quick. It looks like it is set up here at the top with the clever single sign-on.
Great.
For teachers and students. So with that being said, all of the teachers on the call right now, as well as the teachers that aren't on the call, should be logging into their own Clever and then finding the app for WellNet.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have Clever, so I can't show you what that looks like, nor do we as Focus Fitness Company have Clever, so I can't show you what that looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in the only way I can, just so I can get to the WellNet platform of what it will look like when the teachers do log in. If I could spell it.
So Cherie, is it problematic if teachers just log in through the website right now? Because nobody alerted me that the single sign-on process had been completed, and so I hadn't even shared that with them at all. So I'm just wondering if we could just go through the website, since that's what folks are used to for now.
Yep, let's do that. Okay. So our website URL, let me back up then. Our website URL is at the very top, and it's what you're going to want students to have for when students are logging in. It does include that https:// because that's our secure website. Then the www.focusedfitness.org. And please ensure that the ED is on Focused Fitness. So once you are at our website with that URL, at the very top there is a WellNet login flag. So teachers and students would click this login flag. Now, as Linda was saying, I think right when I got on, for those of you that are new WellNet users, you should have received a welcome letter that has your username and password credentials inside that email. If you don't have that email, as Linda said, go ahead and reach out to her. Linda, I'll leave it as that step that you gave. Teachers, again, you have your own username and password, as do your students. So let's say that you're wanting your students to log in to enter their functional fitness challenges. They would come to our website with that URL at the top, and the students are going to use their identification number as their username. And Linda, remind me the SIS that you have.
We use Tyler.
Okay, so whatever the student's Tyler identification number is, will be their username. Each of this.
Cherie, so for this particular session, we're just going to focus on the teachers and showing them the website. As a PE department and team, we are going to have a discussion as to whether or not students are going to be logging in and whether that's appropriate. So for today, it's just, introducing the functional fitness challenge, showing them where those are located on the site, showing them where to enter the data. And then I will have a follow-up conversation with our team as to whether or not students will be putting in data.
Gotcha. All right.
We have that feature on, but yeah, that'll be a team decision.
Okay, great. Thank you. So as far as logging in, teachers, you would use your username and password from our website. What I have done is I have logged in as Linda, and you can see at the top right-hand corner of my screen, I'm logged in as Linda. Again, Linda is the administrator, so she will have access to all data. For you as teachers, you will have access to your student rosters at your building. So at the bottom left-hand side of my screen inside management, if I click to view class rosters and I pull up an elementary school and click search classes, as Linda can see, there are classes for multiple homeroom teachers at Apple Pie Ridge. If I am the elementary PE teacher at Apple Pie Ridge, I've been given access to all of the rosters that are based on the homeroom teacher's name. So if you are if you aren't seeing your class rosters, please reach out to Linda. Linda, reach out to us, as you know, and we'll make sure that you as elementary PE teachers have access to all of the rosters in your building, because we load all of those for you. So definitely no need for you to make any changes. We do all that on our side. So you as a teacher, when you log in, you'll have access to your class rosters in the management tile. So let's back up here, up at the top left. I'm going to go back to management. And I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So always using that top left side of the green bar to maneuver. Inside this management tile, I can click the words View Class Rosters. And once I click View Class Rosters, again, your school will be pulled up. But again, Linda has access to all buildings. So if you are the elementary PE teacher at Apple Pie Ridge, you will see all of your class rosters are loaded. And if you wanted to look at them down at the bottom center, you could output your rosters to a web page just to view them. You could output your rosters to a spreadsheet, which will be an Excel spreadsheet. So you would be able to sort them, add columns, add rows, all of the Excel functionality that you would normally have. And most of the time, teachers are going to output to a PDF that you would be able to save on your computer and or print at any point. And again, those output options are always there for you as teachers. Then what you would do is on the right hand side, you would click the button that says View Class Rosters, and it would open up a separate tab. So what I'm going to do is click the word include and get rid of all of these, not get rid of them, just not select them, and select just one and click View Class Roster so you can see the format of what a class roster is. So right now we're looking at a class again at Apple Pie Ridge. This is a third grade class. I know that because this column of grade. And I can also see the students' names, their gender, and their date of birth. So I can see in this class down here at the bottom, there are 24 students in this class. So if I am the elementary PE teacher here, these are the students that are in this third grade class with this homeroom teacher. I'm going to click exit out of this tab at the very top. And what I'm going to ask all of you to do is whatever chat or conversation portal there is in Google Meets, go ahead and use that. And Linda, I'll ask for those in just a few moments. So teachers, I want to point out one more piece of information on this screen. In the top green bar, I am in View Class Rosters. And on the far right-hand side, there is a how-to video. So if you need some additional help, there's that how-to video, as well as our chat box down at the bottom right-hand corner. So again, we are here to be able to help you. Even if you get stuck, please don't have any problem with reaching out to us by live chat or utilizing that how-to video. At the top left of the green bar, again, practicing makes better. I'm going to go back to management and I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Now, for the rest of our time, I want to make sure that I cover the functional fitness challenges. The functional fitness challenges are in place of right now the standard fitness tests that you would normally be conducting there in Virginia. Inside this fitness tile is an opportunity to click on record scores. So if you are going to be entering the student's fitness challenge data, you would click on record scores. And again, at the top of the green bar, I'm in the fitness module. I'm going to click record scores. And I'm going to pull up that same elementary building. And again, Linda sees all buildings, but as soon as you click record scores, your rosters will filter just like these are now. And let's say that we are going to be entering scores for Miss Benner's class. Then on the left-hand side, I would click the word record. And here in the center, you can see that these are the fitness measurements that we can choose which ones, here in the center, which ones we are going to record today. So if we are meeting with our students synchronously, if we're meeting with them in building, again, you're deciding, Linda, what you're going to do with students making those entry points. But again, as teachers, you can record the scores. What you can do is you can click the blue include button and it will uncheck all of those measurements down here below. You know, you see it, they're all unchecked. And you might only want to be recording scores for the lower back and hamstring challenge. So you can just put a check mark in those two challenges to enter those points of data. Below that, we see where we can select a phase. You already have a pre, goal, and post phase of data collection. But as a teacher, and this is going to be a conversation with you and Linda, as a teacher, you can create additional phases of data collection. Some of our districts are assessing students' fitness multiple times in a month for, say, the PACER test or, say, the plank test. And everyone nationwide is at a different place. So again, that conversation will be had with you and Linda. But let's say today, I'm going to enter students' scores for lower back and hamstring challenge in the pre-data collection phase. Now, what I see on the left-hand side is the roster for this class, and my cursor is already in the lower back hamstring right, and then I have the lower back hamstring left. WellNet is an autosave screen where we are right now, so I'm not going to type any information because I don't want it to save for Caroline. But if I was entering this as an elementary teacher, I would enter a 1 if the student was able to reach their shin, a 2 if they were able to reach their ankle, or a 3 if they're able to reach their toes. And we'll look at a video that shows that in just a moment. But again, a 1, 2, or a 3, whatever the students were able to meet their shin, their ankle, or toes. And I would enter all those scores. And we have left the save, the green save button here. For those of us that are nervous that it's not saving automatically, you can always click save scores and it will give you a successfully scores are saved button. So before I go look at the video that talks through the lower back hamstring, Linda, are there any questions from you or in the conversation dialog box?
I'm going to check that out right now. I don't see any questions that actually haven't already been answered. And so I'm wondering, you know, I did share the functional fitness challenge information with our team. And so they don't know if they had, I don't know if they had an opportunity to look at it, but I do think it might be helpful if we could just take a look at like a couple snippets of a few of them. You know, we certainly don't have to look at the left foot and the right foot. They'll get the idea, you know, of the whole balance thing by just viewing one. But what I really want them to see is, you know, the difference between the video the student will see for the demonstration and then, you know, kind of the video, the other video that's provided, to be able to differentiate between the two. This really is, Cherie, our very first time having a collaborative meeting and conversation about the functional fitness challenges. So again, some folks might be very new because they weren't able to view the information that I shared.
Well, I appreciate that feedback. And what I will do then, I didn't click while you were talking. I just want to make sure I go slow enough just because I tend to hit fifth gear pretty fast. So what I did, teachers, is I went back to my class list and I went back to fitness, and now I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Once you are all logged in as a teacher, which we are right now, Linda being the teacher administrator, you have an orange student view tile. And as it says underneath here, see sample data and assignments as a student would see. It's very important that you know that this is sample data. It is sample information because based on privacy policy, we're not able to have you log in as a student. You could still pull reports of your student data, but we're not able to have you log in as a student. So what I'm going to do is click on this student view tile, and I would be able to do this also if I was showing WellNet to my students. And again, that's going to be up to you as a team. In the green bar, again, pointing out where our eyes want to go is student view tile. This is what we're looking at. They have a sample assignment of fitness. And this is where they would view their measurements and set their SMART goals. But this is also, depending on what you decide, where you can have your students enter their information. But this is also very key for you to know. This is where you as teachers have access to view the functional fitness challenge videos. So let me repeat that. As a teacher, I'm able to view the functional fitness challenge videos inside the student view tile and clicking on this tile of fitness. Once inside at the top, you can see these are the fitness measurements, and at the bottom left of that, it says functional fitness challenges. Two pieces to point out before I click anywhere else. To the right of my highlight, you see it says click here for directions. If we were to click on that, you would see a 3-page PDF of all of the explanation in words of what is shared inside the videos. Again, a PDF there for you as a teacher. Also, down below, without moving my cursor, you see 3 red boxes. Those have the videos inside those icons. So what I'm going to do is where it says step challenge, resting heart rate, our first box, top row, left column, I'm going to click on that video icon. And inside the step challenge, we have 2 different videos. One video is the introduction from a CMO cadre member, and the second is the actual demonstration, the actual challenge with the time and the cadence and everything that we need. So the introduction will view just a few moments. Same thing with the demonstration, just a few moments of both.
For this challenge, you will need a step that is 8 to 10 inches high, a metronome with a 120 beat per minute cadence, and a watch or cell phone for timing. This challenge consists of 4 steps. Step 1. Measure your resting heart rate. Place your fingers on your neck time up to 6 seconds, add a 0 after the number of heartbeats that you counted. This is your resting heart rate. Step 2, step up time. Start your cadence. Start a 3-minute timer.
I'll go on to play a portion of the demonstration or the challenge video, and then we'll ask for questions. So Linda, I did not clarify, but were you able to hear the sound from my computer?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any questions or comments knowing that we only looked at a portion of the introduction and the actual challenge demonstration videos?
Suri, we're getting, well, actually, we had a question about the student view, but it seems as though that remedied itself. So at this time, it doesn't look like we have any questions right now, but certainly there's some really good points being made that the team and I will be able to have a discussion on following our time together.
Okay, great. I'm glad that their brains are just ticking along. That's super helpful to know that they're invested. So that's great to hear. So teachers, what I did is I scrolled down. You can see now the first and second row and a little bit of the third row on my screen. There's a plank challenge, 2 videos, exactly the same type of format where the CMO cadre member introduces the challenge and then the actual demonstration of the challenge. And for the plank video, the students are holding plank for up to 180 seconds. So with that video, there is a timer, starts at 0, and they would enter their amount of time that they were able to hold a plank based on what timer is left up on that screen for them. The lower back and hamstring challenge, you see the right one and the left one, lower left. It says video. There is only one video. It does show the students how to sit with their right leg extended against a floor step, the riser of a step, and or the wall. And it talks through where they're going to have their fingers and meeting their shin for a score of 1, their ankle for a score of 2, or their toes for a score of 3. So again, one video for that challenge. Similarly, with the shoulder stretch, you see in the second column, row 2 and row 3, shoulder stretch video. It's only going to show them how to have their right arm up, bend their elbow, left arm up, and Y, if their fingers can touch, that's a yes, or an N, that their fingers are not touching. So again, one video, same video for the right and left. Scrolling down, there are 4 boxes for the standing balance challenge, and the 4 boxes each have the same videos. Again, the videos in this top one that says right leg eyes open is going to be the same videos that are in the left leg eyes closed. All of these 4 boxes have these same 2 videos. It does walk the students through in the introduction of how to balance on their leg and not touch anything for support, but if they lose their balance, how to put their foot down and so forth. And then the challenge demonstration does have the timer. It does have the CMO cadre member standing on their right leg with their eyes open and maintaining that balance. Again, similar to the shoulder stretch, the students are going to enter a Y for yes, or an N for no if they were able to hold that 30-second balance, or no, they weren't. And again, I'm just using the same terminology I use with all other divisions that have been doing this. Their students are entering those scores. Again, coming back to the beginning of our conversation, you as a team with Linda will decide if that's what you want to do, if students are entering it or you are as teachers. Lastly, scrolling down to the bottom, there is a data entry point for students to enter their plan for fitness improvement, their SMART goals, for them to enter their eating plan, and their SMART goals for their eating plan. So I shared a lot of information, and I ended late of my 30 minutes, Linda, because I came in late. So based on all of the words that I shared and filling up the brain sponge that your teachers have, are there any other questions or comments that you want me to touch on?
Well, I do want to honor their time, and I think we were hoping to wrap up by 3:25, so we have a few minutes. Again, just to the teachers, I am taking some screenshots of the comments so that I can be sure that we have those for the next time we get together. But is there anyone in the group who would like to unmute themselves and ask a specific question of Cherie about WellNet in that portion? Anything that's in relation to, students and parents and grading and that sort of thing, that would be on our end, the instructional piece. But does anybody have a question for Cherie while she is with us? I'm not seeing anything in the chat. It's eerily quiet. That's not typical for this group, but they must be pretty good. And certainly, nobody's going to become an expert in this program given one session, but I'm trying to get myself familiar with it as well so that I can be of support. And team, just know that Cherie is an excellent resource and support. And, if something does come up as we get to know this program a little bit better, we can certainly call on her to provide anything else. So with that being said, Cherie, there's nothing in the chat for you, and we're not having any questions. So thank you for joining us today and giving us a view of what that looks like and what those challenges are and where we can find those videos. If there's nothing else that you want to add, we'll just say thank you, and we'll keep you posted on where we land.
You're welcome. And of course, anything I want to add is just thank you for being who you are, and you can reach out at any time.
Thanks, Cherie.
All right.
All right, team. Before we head out, I do want to say, I know that probably was a lot of information for some of you, especially if you've never used WellNet before. I'm not speaking for anyone, but it was kind of a lot for me. I've never used it, but I'm trying to teach myself about it. So please know that any questions that you have and any concerns that might arise as you begin to process all of this, I'm here. Please pick up the phone and give me a call or send me an email. I know you guys are a great support system for each other, so please reach out to each other as well. But if I don't know what your concerns are and I don't know what your questions are, I don't know how to address them and I don't know how to support you. So please always reach out. One other thing that I do want to say is that I noticed in the parking lot, you have been putting in some questions, which is great. And I'm getting, those responses in there in as timely of a manner as I can. I think I'm all caught up. But there is now a space for WellNet. So if you have any questions after today or concerns, go ahead and drop those in there. I don't necessarily think that the parking lot is the best way for us to communicate and collaborate, but I know that sometimes it's the easiest and the most timely. So if you have time to call me, please just do that. But if we don't meet each other or an email just isn't, the right place, certainly use that parking lot. Okay, I'm seeing some comments here. Yeah. So, there's a lot to consider and a lot to think about when we're talking about, students recording themselves and providing, evidence or proof. So I think we all just kind of need to digest what that looks like. Mark Rosen, I'm gonna get you. We all need to digest what this looks like, what this information is, what we're potentially asking of families. If you're kind of in that camp of, yeah, I think I'm going to have students enter the scores, what does that entail? Or if not, and you're saying that's too much, and I think that's something for me to take on, also be thinking about, yourself and what that's going to require. So, we want to process all of this before the next time we get together. Jared, Neal, you're so always good about raising your hand. Unfortunately, I can only see like 2 people, so I didn't see that and apologize. But what's your question?
So how strenuous or maybe is this physical fitness testing? And the only reason I'm asking is I know we're different with different schedules at every school. I see my fourth and fifth graders once every 2 weeks. So that's, 4 times per quarter. And am I going to spend a whole quarter doing physical fitness tests versus other SOL tests? How was that? What's the expectation there?
Yeah, great question. So actually, but at first I thought you meant like physically strenuous, but you mean
Yeah.
like more like time intensive, so to speak.
Yes.
So one of the documents that I shared with you guys that is in our PE shared drive, I broke down for you the number of minutes that each challenge should take. And I think the longest one might be 3 minutes. So total, all of the challenges, because some of them are like 2 or 3 minutes or four, 2 or 3. I think it's 15 or 16 minutes total for all of the challenges that would be required. So it's not a lot of time at all. It's very, very minimal and very different from the testing that was previously done. These are challenges, and the state wanted to be very careful not to call these tests, but to call these challenges, because these are not tests. But what they're doing is, as they require these for our fourth and fifth graders this year, it's kind of like a pilot for what they want to do in the future. So they're going to be taking a look at the actual physical fitness tests that are typically a requirement. And they're going to get our feedback and get our data on these fitness challenges and use that to possibly redesign the physical fitness challenges. The physical fitness testing to maybe mirror some of the challenges that you'll be doing with your students this year.
Okay.
Some more comments. Kathy Lindbergh offered workup time. Mike Wolf has a statement.
So these are the conversations that I know there are going to be a lot of questions, and I knew we wouldn't have time to address all of them today, because we're all coming at this with different levels of experience and different ideas, and I kind of want to give everybody individual time to process this, and also maybe even have that conversation with your teammate who with whom you work. And so it's not that I want to push this off at all or not open up this conversation, but I do think that having some think time and some time to digest will be very helpful. So what the plan is, and certainly we can have this conversation, but is our next meeting in November, that's when we're really going to get down to the nitty gritty of some of these details. It's going to be your meeting like it usually is, but I want you guys to be doing a lot more of the talking. We can utilize Google breakout rooms, and we can brainstorm, what this will look like, what we want to kind of label as requirements for how things are going to work, logistically, and those that will be more of a school decision. It's not optional for fifth grade and fourth grade students to do this. This is something that they have to do, whether they are hybrid or virtual. And we do have to enter scores into WellNet for these challenges. But outside of that, we do have some wiggle room, and you will be the folks doing this work with the students. So I don't want to be making those decisions. I want us to work together as a team to decide what the best way is to support our students and families, and how we can support you as well. So with that being said, I'm going to take another look at the comments, and I'm going to turn off my camera so I don't make any mistake. Put these together somewhere, trends and patterns, and I will group those together. And what I'll probably do is I'll either link it in our parking lot or and drop it in our share drive, just so that you guys can see. You're definitely sharing some common questions and concerns, and so I think we'll be able to work collaboratively to come up with some solutions to all of this. So I will, I try not to send you too many emails. I know you get information from every side every day. So I try to keep it minimal. But what I will do is alert you when I've taken all the questions and concerns and organize them and put those in our shared drive. Okay. So before we close out, does anybody have a question or a concern that needs immediate attention?
I got a question.
Okay.
Is there any consideration given to rotating the resource meeting schedule so we're not the 2:45 slot every month?
That actually came up from somebody else, and the meetings that we have in this fashion are only scheduled through December, and then we're going to reassess and see what things look like for the second half of the year. We cannot do that at this time because administrators were given these dates at the start, and they have planned faculty meetings, staff meetings, and all sorts of things around these times, grade level meetings and that sort of thing. But, you know, we have done in the past and will today ensure that we're done by 3:45 before the end of your workday. So, you know, that's really important to us that we honor your time. So we will always ensure that we're done before 3:45. And then, you know, when we reassess in November or December, we will certainly take that into consideration if we continue this in the second semester.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay.
You're welcome. Sure. Any questions from anyone else? Right. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for everything that you do. Please know that I realize some of this is very new. Nobody is expected to do anything with any of this information just yet. You're certainly more than welcome to. It looks like JT already has some ideas turning. But when we get together next time, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to wrap our minds around this together and come up with a plan. So we'll see you in November. Have a great day, everyone.
Hi, Jared.
Well,
I don't. I just want to say bye to Jared.
Oh. Good to hear
Bye,
your
Mike.
voice, Mike.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Raise your hand, Walton.
Bye.
Sergeant Major. Major, Corporal Sergeant.
Are you gonna leave me?
Yep, I'm leaving.